Good morning and welcome to another travel vlog. If you are new here, my name is Millie. If you're not new here, then welcome back. And today I am in the country of Vanuatu. We actually arrived yesterday, but we got in quite late. We were tired, we were hungry, and it was basically pitch black already by the time we got to the hotel. So I didn't vlog yesterday, but starting this travel vlog today. If you didn't know, Vanuatu is a Pacific island. So it's just like a few hours to the east of Australia, like sort of where Fiji is, New Caledonia, that sort of region. So that's where we are. So it's quite tropical here. It is, unfortunately, kind of still cyclone season apparently. I actually had thought in my head, or I'd seen on Google, that April is not usually too bad for rain. However, the hotel did say that April they do still consider as being cyclone season. So today is actually like not the nicest of weather. It is dry at the minute, and honestly after the Maldives, I'll take cloudy and dry any day over any chance of rain. But it does look like there will be some rain today, but that's okay. We're not going to let that ruin our trip. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, the weather will be nice for the rest of our time here. Every time I check the weather app, it's like completely different. Like genuinely, it's changing like every 5 minutes when I check on it. But we're just going to see what happens and make the most of it. I am so excited to be here. We're just doing a little short trip this time, just like for Easter weekend. We are currently just exploring around the hotel. Obviously, because we arrived in last night, we didn't really come see like half of the island, like the half that we're not staying by. But we're just having a little wander around now, and it's so nice. Like I said, today's quite like an overcast day, but they actually have tennis courts right here. So maybe we'll play a game of tennis, depending on how expensive it is. I get the vibe that it's going to be, that Vanuatu is going to be more expensive than Australia, like just slightly. Probably like similar vibes to New Caledonia. But yeah, around this side, which we haven't seen yet, there's tennis courts, there's another pool, there's another bar, there's like a few different things. The gym as well, so we're going to try and get some runs in as well. So this is the other, like the bigger pool. Pretty quiet, to be honest. Don't really know where everybody is, but so nice. I think Stephen's going to try and figure out how we can get, well, he thinks maybe over there is the tennis racket. So we're going to go see if we can find the tennis rackets. But I mean, I'm not dressed to play tennis at the minute because I am in this little dress with a bikini on, but we're going to swim, and then it's forecast to rain between like 10 and 12 today. We did want to run. Well, I definitely want to run today, but considering there's only one treadmill in the gym and somebody's currently on it, it could be a slight issue. The island doesn't seem to be that big, so I don't know how long it would actually take you to run around it, but maybe that's what we're going to be doing. Is it cold? No. Is it warm? Oh, steep. Right now is not a great example because I do have my hair tied up, but one thing I was just saying to Stephen that is great about my hair being so short now is that I don't have to really worry about getting my hair wet every day because it doesn't take that long to dry anymore. Like whenever I'm showering, my hair probably pretty dry in like half an hour, 45 minutes. So today, well right now, I'm not getting it wet because I want to go play tennis and I want to go for a run, and I don't want to have wet hair for that. But yeah, it's quite nice. This is the life. Ooh. So we did just attempt to go for a run in the gym, but the treadmill is quite broken. Not gonna lie guys, this resort was quite expensive. It's meant to be 4 stars, but it is quite run down in quite a lot of places. Like basically most of the sun lounges are broken. There's very few that aren't broken. The rooms and stuff are nice, like don't get me wrong, it's still a nice hotel, but it does need like a bit of maintenance. I think the treadmill in the gym worked, but you could only choose between 6 kilometers an hour or 12 kilometers an hour, and I just wanted like a nice easy run, so I couldn't do that. Steven's not feeling that well today, so he doesn't want to run outside, but maybe tomorrow we'll run outside. But anyway, we're gonna play some tennis as our little bit of exercise for today because yeah, the gym was not gymming for us. I am actually such a sweaty mess after finishing at tennis, but I wanted to get my run in today. I thought about not doing it, but I do want to get it done. So I'm gonna run around the island. The island's not that big, guys, so I don't know how many laps I might have to do, but I'm gonna just keep going until I get 5k, 1k in. It's very hilly, very hot. 2k, 3k's, keeping it real. I'm walking up the hill because I don't have it in me to do it again. I'm actually quite wiped out from playing tennis, to be honest. Oh, fuck. But once I hit the top of the hill, then I'm gonna run again. 4k, and that's 5k's done. I actually need to apologize because look how sweaty I am. I am dripping, guys. The hills here, no joke. I don't like hills at the best of times, let alone it is about 28 degrees and I checked the humidity. The humidity is 84%. Which is wild, absolutely wild. So anyway, I need to go meet Stephen, get the key, have a shower, and then I'm gonna go get in the pool. There was a guy as I was finishing my run and I just started like really struggling after the final hill, and he started cheering me on, and it was just really nice because it was just like a reminder of it's nice to be nice. And he just really spurred me on to finish like the last like 250 meters that I had to go. Quick little lunch break. I've got this raspberry margarita, which is actually unbelievable. It's raspberry tequila with apple juice and something else. And we've just got some snacky bits for lunch. We've gone for garlic bread, chips, and chicken wings, and Stephen's got his little beer. Had a quick outfit change because we've headed off of our island and onto the main island. So we're in Port Vila now, which is the capital city of Vanuatu. Also, fun fact, Vanuatu is actually 83 islands. Well, 83 islands make up Vanuatu, but we basically just came down. As you guys know, whenever we go away, we like to get a magnet and we like to get a postcard, so we just picked up those. And we're just gonna have a little wander around. To be honest, it's still very overcast today, so it's not really like sitting by the pool kind of weather, so we're just gonna have a wander around, see what we can find, and then probably just head back to the island. Vanuatu actually had a really bad earthquake in December. We're in April at the minute, but they had a really bad earthquake in December, and from what I understand, they're very much still trying to recover and rebuild from that earthquake. And like as we were driving in yesterday from the airport, there is like a lot of rubble still on the ground, a lot of things that are taped off. A lot of businesses are closed today, and Google does say that is partly because of obviously like a lot of businesses just closed down as a result of the earthquake. But it is also Good Friday, so we're thinking that some of the places are probably also closed just because it's a public holiday as well. But it is interesting just coming and seeing how the locals live, and yeah, just kind of getting an actual experience of what Vanuatu is like, because obviously when you're staying on a little secluded island, you don't really get to experience the culture or see the actual place at all. We've actually just popped into this little cafe that we walked past because we're gonna have a drink. So it's just started to spit with rain a little bit, but as I was just talking about the earthquake, their literal menu right now is their post-earthquake menu, and it says, please be patient. Currently we have no gas and are running on 100% solar until our main power is restored, which is insane. Like, it's just crazy to think that whole communities would have been absolutely destroyed during the earthquake, and they're trying to do their best to rebuild. And you know, I don't know how resourceful Vanuatu is and how easy it is for them to rebuild, but anyway, we're going to do our bit and we're going to get something from this cafe. It is a few hours later, and honestly it started raining, so we kind of just came back to the hotel room and just chilled out for a little bit. Stephen had a bit of a nap, and to be honest with you, I kind of just doom scrolled for a couple of hours. But we are about to go out for dinner. I actually am fresh faced, haven't put any makeup on. Do you know what I find when I put makeup on holiday is A, it's so sweaty that as soon as you leave the aircon, it's just uncomfortable. But B, usually it's like we just go out for dinner, we're out for maybe like an hour, and then I come home and I take my makeup off straight away. So I just kind of can't be bothered. Anyway, this is the fit. Yeah, I'm sure I'm fit. Come on. Stephen got a really bad sunburn today, so he's gone for the long sleeved option. It looks good. Ralph Lauren, fit shoe check. But basically, so when we played tennis earlier, he obviously was wearing that like vest, and his shoulders, like all his forearms, not forearms, what are these called? What's this called? Upper arm. Your upper arm, and sorry, his upper arm and his shoulders and his neck are just like, they're quite toasty. But anyway, we are gonna go and eat, so let's go get some food. When we arrived on Thursday, we got to the airport and I had my drone with me, and I basically knew that we needed a permit for the drone to fly here, and I was fine with that. I had applied for all of the permits, I'd sent off all the documents to the people that it says you need to send them to, and I just hadn't heard back. And I'd done this a good few weeks ago, and it said it should only take about 5 business days. Anyway, I didn't hear back from anyone. Then this week, like the week leading up to the holiday, I ended up sending out a few more emails, like all of the documents, just to any email that I could find online for the like air, or like the aviation authority, whatever it's called, to see if I could get a response from anybody. And I thought, you know what, I'll just bring the drone with me, and then that way, if I get the permit come through whilst I'm here, then I can take the drone up in the resort. I'd already checked with the hotel will fly with me flying the drone here. And then got to the airport. They have like the nothing to declare. I had nothing to declare, so I just ticked no for everything. It didn't ask anything about drones, so I obviously didn't write anything about that. And then as we were like leaving, they have somebody like checking your nothing to declare forms, and I had the drone just like in its bag on my shoulder, and they were like, oh, is that a drone? I said yes. So then they sent me through to the declare section, and they were like, oh, do you know like the rules and regulations about the drone? And I said, yeah, like I know I've got to have a permit to be able to fly, blah blah blah. And then they were just like, they actually didn't even ask me if I had the permit. They just went, we're going to detain the drone because you don't have a permit. And I was like, well, like, you haven't, well, I didn't say you haven't asked me if I have a permit, because I didn't have a permit. And also, you know, it's border security, so they're kind of scary. But they detained the drone. They were like, oh, you can, if you get the permit come through, because I told them I'd applied for everything and I just hadn't heard back from anyone. They told me that if I get it through over, like whilst we're here, then I can just go back to the airport and pick the drone up. But if not, then I'll just have to pick up the drone on the way back home. But obviously, like, it's Easter weekend, most things are going to be closed. I haven't had a response from anybody in all of the emails that I sent in the lead up to this, so pretty much just hopefully the drone will just still be there when we get back and I'll be able to just pick it up. But honestly, that drone causes me so much bother. Like, I feel like it's almost not even worth bringing it anywhere, because Zanzibar, we couldn't bring the drone because the process of trying to get the permits for Zanzibar was insane. Like, I didn't even bother trying for Zanzibar. Then the Maldives, we weren't allowed to fly the drone on the island, like it was completely restricted. Fiji was actually fine. Fiji, I bought the drone and it was all good. Hawaii, I bought the drone, got the permit, that was all good. Where else have we been? No, I think that was it. It was just the Maldives recently we couldn't fly, and then for this trip as well, like, I just couldn't get the permit. Like, even though I applied, tried to get it, I just couldn't get it. And I almost feel like, what's the point in having the drone? Like, it's so expensive, it's annoying to carry everywhere, and half the time you can't even fly it. About to go snorkeling in the water here. Unfortunately, Stephen is not going to come because the shop is actually out of adult-sized snorkels. And he, to be honest, he actually doesn't love snorkeling. He just said unless it's somewhere really amazing, because we have done quite a lot of snorkeling in our time. But there is a sign up that says that you have to wear shoes in the water here because there's stonefish, and I'm pretty sure stonefish are like super poisonous. So hopefully I don't encounter any of them. I'm going to wear the flippers anyway, and then I'm going to go out and have a snorkel. So we're switching to GoPro in 3, 2, 1. Excuse my crazy hair because I've just been in the sea and in the pool, so it's soaking wet right now. One thing I do genuinely have to give credit to my short hair for is it dries so quickly that I don't mind getting in the water like multiple times a day, so it's so good. Anyway, got myself a cocktail. This is a mango something or other. Yesterday that cocktail that I had, the slushie, was so good and I wanted another one, but the slushies haven't been made just yet, so later I'm gonna do that. Sorry, my memory card filled up, so I had to just delete some stuff. But oh my god, when we were snorkeling, okay, it wasn't the best snorkeling I've ever done in my whole life. The water wasn't like that clear, but there was quite a lot of fish. We saw a bait ball, and we also, Stephen didn't really come in. He like did end up getting an adult size snorkel, but got in, and I don't know why. This man has issues with snorkels. Like, whenever he gets a snorkel on, for some reason the water always gets into his mask, and sometimes I think it's just you doing it wrong. But anyway, I saw a sea snake, like a little baby, well, I think it was a sea snake, a little baby one, which is kind of cool. I mean, I would have been terrified if it was a bigger one, but it was just a little small one. We're gonna have to get lunch pretty early today, so we're gonna order lunch soon enough, I reckon. What's the time?
11:41.
It's 11:41. We've got to be ready to go on our tour, like our excursion for the day at 12:45, so we actually don't have that much time. So we'll probably order lunch close enough to 12ish. I obviously want to go get changed. It's like a little cultural tour, so we go to a local village, which I'm actually quite excited for. We've made it to Ifira Island, which is where we're doing our cultural tour, basically with like a guy and his family, and he's showing us around, showing us how the indigenous people live here. And I love doing things like this. I just think it's so important when you're traveling to learn about the cultures. And it's Easter weekend here at the minute, and so their like tradition on Easter is to all come over here and go camping. So there's like loads of tents and stuff set up, but he's got us some like fresh fruit and bits that we can try. So we're going to try some local, the lighting's not great that way, we're going to try some local produce.
Freshman, guys, to be honest, we came in so we can have a cultural
Eat the whole
shock.
thing, you reckon?
You see what I did, see what, when I bring you home,
That's a bug on
I
it.
take you from step like in Samoa, Tonga, the Golden Boom. For us, we got our talent, we got them dome. They're the But we're gonna left this side. You ladies, you are the one who's gonna help my auntie, my wife, and my cousin's wife, just to prepare for our dinner. So when we take a walk, we come back in. Oh, our dinner has been ready for us to use it together. So us boys, that's what we did. We just give hand, prepare the husk, coconut. So it became something that most of us do. So, brother, I've done 36 years. You've done 1 second, but it's already good. You don't even cut yourself, so that's good. That's good. So it became something you learn. Even example like, if I bring you over, you sit on a bench, you don't experience something because you were sitting there. Am I right?
So they're showing us all of like the stereotypical like gender roles that they have here on this island. So like when Stephen was just husking the coconut, that would be like the male job, and then they give the coconut over to the women, and the women basically make fresh coconut cream. Stephen did just film a video, but I've got no idea if he did it in portrait or landscape, but I'll have inserted it just before so you'll see. And so interesting, they use like all the parts of the coconut to get all the coconut milk out. And he's saying, you know, you guys, when you would just go to the supermarket and you would buy that out of a can, and this is how we make it fresh. I think it's so interesting, they just do everything here from scratch. And one thing that he said that is like really, really stuck out to me is that people that, you know, people like me, for example, living in Australia, he's like, you guys have it so easy, but you complain so much. And, you know, we do, and that's kind of like pretty much a harsh reality of life. It's great seeing their mindset and seeing how they do everything here from scratch. They've just put the sweet potatoes, or yams as they call them, over there in the fire, wrapped in the leaves, which is like their version, basically with aluminium foil. And it's going to cook over there, and then once it's cooked, I think we actually get to eat it. This is the food that they made for us. We're trying some what is it called? Sweet potato, and then this is tapioca with spinach. I don't know if I love that one. No. Thank you. It is a few hours later, we're back from the cultural tour. It was actually so interesting. It was really great to see how other people live. There's basically like I think he said there was like 3,000, just under 4,000 indigenous people that live on that island, and there's 6 different tribes that live on the island. So we've really just got an insight into how their like everyday lives are, and really, really interesting. Obviously, I mentioned before in this vlog that there was a bad earthquake in December. He was saying they've only just had their electricity restored on the island last week, so that's like 4 months without electricity, which is just wild. Anyway, this is my dress that I'm wearing tonight. You kind of can't see it because I'm too short, but just this little red flowy dress. Tonight we're doing a buffet dinner and a fire show. Good morning. It is another gorgeous day here. We've got nice blue skies, and today, like I mentioned, we are going on it's sort of like a splash tour. Like, we're going to see a blue lagoon. We're going to do lots of fun things. This is my outfit. I actually don't love this outfit. This dress looks much better when I've got like a plain swimming costume on underneath it. But anyway, we're gonna go get some breakfast, and then I think we've got to meet at 8:30. But somebody's actually been ringing our phone in the hotel room, so I hope we've got our times right, to be honest. I realised as well in the previous clip, my camera is sort of fogging up because it's been in the aircon all night, and then I just took it outside. But anyway, that phone call we just got was saying that the driver is sick and we can't go on the splash tour today, which is kind of really sad because we go home tomorrow, which means I don't know if it's really sensible to do it tomorrow when we're gonna have to like get on a flight and stuff. But anyway, that's quite sad. Stephen knows that I like hate when plans change. I'm very much a type A person, and when I have my routine and when I have my plans, I like to stick to that, so that's quite upsetting. But anyway, we're up now, so we might as well go and spend our day by the pool. Seeing as we're not going to the splash tour, I don't need to wear my swimming costume. Basically, I like to wear a swimming costume when we're doing anything like active in the water, like jumping off boats, jumping off things, because it just gives me a bit more security. So I'm gonna wear this green outfit instead. Basically, what we need to try and figure out is tomorrow. They've asked us if we want to do the tour tomorrow instead, but we are flying out tomorrow. I think our flight's at like 4 p.m. or something, so we just need to establish how long the tour is, and will we be back in time to give us enough time to also then get to the airport without feeling stressed. So I'm actually really gutted because I really wanted to do that tour, and originally we were going to do it on Friday, which was the day after we got here, but I changed it because the weather on Friday was like very overcast and grey, as you guys saw, and was raining a bit, and I thought things like that are always way more fun when it's sunny, and like all the water obviously looks so much nicer when the sun's out. So anyway, we've got a whole day of just relaxing today, which, if you know me, I struggle to just sit around and relax and do nothing. Like, I get very antsy if I don't have something to do, like I get a bit bored. So anyway, it's what it is. We're gonna work with it. It's also Easter Sunday today, guys, so happy Easter. I've got good news, guys. We just went to go try and find out whether we could do the splash tour tomorrow, and she actually told us they've managed to find somebody that can take us this afternoon. That gets rid of all of our stress, which is so good. So we're going at 1 p.m. today instead. Like I said earlier, it's such a lovely day out. The sun is so strong already. I'm a bit worried about burning. I'm covered in bites, like covered in mosquito bites from yesterday, but I am so happy. I said to Stephen, this is why things just work out. Things just work out the way that they should, which I'm happy about. He wanted to go for a run this morning, but I said it's kind of too hot to go for a run. And also, I don't know what's going on, but I'm so tired. I must have slept for about 10 hours last night, and I'm still exhausted. Look how nice the water is today. It's like super clear. You can see all like the light blue patches. Steve and I yesterday, actually, when we were sat here having lunch, we saw a turtle pop up like over there somewhere. We only saw it a couple of times. It was pretty far away from us, but that was quite cool. It's a day in the life of a fish.
Today we have the melon fish.
Why are you a melon fish? This is the melon fish in its natural habitat.
They have evolved over centuries of breeding to become the most mammal-like fish.
The melon fish has shade protectors because its vision is affected by the sun.
The face of the melonfish has been incorporated over thousands of years of inbreeding to become sustainable in the sun. They truly are a marvel of the universe.
They have gathered a new body part. Oh, Jesus! The pool dipped down a lot there. We weren't expecting that.
I thought it was your big flood.
I just wasn't expecting it, and I got you to carry. Didn't I? You little melon fish. We've come for some lunch and drinks. I've gone for, I actually don't know what this is. I have blue curacao and pineapple juice in it, and I don't know what the spirit is. And then Stephen's got a little beer. It's nice. We've basically been having to have lunch quite early so that we can be ready for our tours, because obviously yesterday's tour was at 1 and today's tour was at 1. And originally I set myself a budget of this trip for, I thought I would spend about $250 per day, and I actually think we are going to end up way under that. Yesterday we had our most expensive day, so far, and we spent $610, but that also included the fact that we did the tour yesterday, and we also paid for the fire show and buffet, and both things were on the more expensive side, but both were worth it, both were fun. The food yesterday actually was really good for dinner. I don't think I filmed any of the food for you guys, but it was all buffet style. There was like roast beef, pork belly, loads of different things. Prawns. I ate prawns and I actually liked them, which was really strange because you guys know I don't really tend to like fishy things. But anyway, we've just got a pizza and chips to share today for lunch, and then we're going on our splash tour, which I'm so excited about. Ready? About to jump. It's actually the following day, and I really did not film very much yesterday. Basically, I don't know if you can tell, but I've got the flu. Like, I have such a snotty nose, not to be TMI, but I had no energy yesterday after we finished up at the Blue Lagoon. I'm exhausted. I had such a bad headache. My nose is so snotty, and actually I blame Stephen because he had this for the first part of the holiday, and he's definitely just given it to me. So anyway, so that's kind of what happened yesterday, and we were quite full. So by the time that we ended up like actually venturing down to go and get dinner, we weren't like super hungry, but we just figured we should eat something. But we got down there, and it was another one of like the buffet nights where you have to pay. It's like $70 per person. Obviously it's all you can eat in buffet, but like neither of us are very hungry, so we decided to skip dinner, which is so unlike us. If you know either of us, neither of us are ones to skip the opportunity to eat. But we ended up just coming back to the room, and honestly I fell asleep probably by like 8 o'clock, and then a little bit of drama at like half four in the morning, we woke up to an earthquake. Like literally this entire room was shaking so much, it scared the life out of me. And you know, it's like one of those moments where like you don't really, I mean obviously like neither of us have ever really experienced an earthquake, or like don't really know what you're meant to do in that situation, but like nobody else seemed to like go out of their little, because we're staying in these little like cabin type thingies, like rooms, like it's all individual rooms rather than it being like a big block of units, and nobody else seemed to really be awake. But anyway, it was a 4.9 magnitude earthquake, which is kind of wild. So the earthquake they had back here in December was 7.3 or 7.4 I think, and obviously that destroyed like so much of the infrastructure on the island. So I guess that the earthquake that we felt they would consider like a mild earthquake, but it was still pretty scary, to be honest. It took me a little while to fall back to sleep after that, but it does look like it's another lovely day. We actually leave today, which is super sad. Although to be honest, because I'm sick, it's probably not a bad thing that we are going home. But I think today's gonna be quite a chill day. Our flight is at like 4:30, so we'll probably have to leave here at like, I don't know, 1ish maybe. So we've got breakfast here, we'll have lunch here, and then we'll head to the airport. Again, for breakfast, I have pancakes, maple syrup, and bacon. And honestly, I would not be surprised if my arteries are hating me right now with the amount of bacon and maple syrup that I've eaten this whole holiday. Then a little cup of orange juice, a cup of apple juice, and then a tea that kind of doesn't really look like tea. I did only put a little bit of milk in, but the actual tea doesn't seem to have dispersed, so it kind of just looks like a cup of milk. So we'll have to see how that turns out. Kind of typically, as soon as we finish breakfast and come and sit down go in the pool, all of the clouds have come out to play. So we've got lovely blue sky this side, and then it's just like solid grey cloud that way. So I would have kind of liked a bit more sun, to be honest, on my last day. But anyway, I actually came on here because I was doing some research about the volcanoes, about the earthquakes that they have here, and I found out some interesting facts that I thought I would share with you guys. So obviously, I said to you already, so the magnitude earthquake we had this morning was 4.9, which is what they would consider like a mild earthquake here. And Vanuatu sits on something called the Ring of Fire, which is, and I'm reading this off my phone, It's a tectonic belt of volcanoes in the Pacific and one of the most seismically active places in the world. And on average, Vanuatu has 198 earthquakes a year with a magnitude of 4 and above, which is insane. So basically, the reason why no one was that phased about this earthquake that we had this morning is because they have them like basically one every other day, more or less, which is just absolutely wild to me. So crazy. The other fun fact that we've learned since being here is that Vanuatu has no traffic lights and no speed limits, so the roads are just kind of like a free for all, like you just drive and you hope for the best. What's been your favorite part of the trip? The Blue Lagoon. No, I was going to say the same thing. I was going to also say the Blue Lagoon. It was just so much fun. Also, that's the first time I've ever done a rope swing. I was watching back the videos this morning and I was laughing because it felt so much higher in real life when we're literally like this far off the water. Like our feet are like really not that far at all from the water, but it felt super high. I was a bit too much of a scaredy cat to go on the higher one. Basically, where you like jump the rope off, it's like super sharp, like cliff edge almost. That's probably not a good way to describe it, but super sharp rocks. And I just thought if I slip somehow or accidentally let go or whatever, because you also get quite bad rope burns when you're trying to hold onto the rope, I did not want to crack my head open. So yeah, I was a bit of a scaredy cat. I only did the low ones, even did try the high one, but he didn't grip very well onto the rope and then he kind of fell, but not onto the rocks, like into the water. But yeah, I don't know, it was just a bit too much for me. Just got our final drinks of the holiday. Cheers. I got a Malibu Coke. Malibu Diet Coke, I should say. But I am going to end the vlog here. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. We actually just went and paid our final bill and I came in quite under budget, which is really good. So this holiday was not as expensive as I had thought it was going to be. But anyway, going to end the vlog there. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next week.